Just about everyone has heard of the notion of a positive attitude. It's a great concept, but I think far too many people misunderstand, misuse, or ignore it. The purpose of this video is to clarify the meaning of a positive attitude and to show you how to put it to great use. First, let's give it a definition. This idea of a positive attitude doesn't mean looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. It's not an everything is peachy approach. You and I both know that it can be very difficult to look on the bright side after a significant setback. By positive attitude, I mean a constructive attitude. That is, one that is informed, intelligent, and aimed towards useful, helpful outcomes. It's an attitude that is seasoned by the expectations that good solutions to tough problems will be found. A positive attitude is important for 4 reasons. Number 1, it determines what gets your attention. Your attitude is almost always self-fulfilling. If you start off expecting bad things to happen, they almost always do. If you begin your day in a negative frame of mind, you'll tend to notice all the bad things that happen and overlook many of the good things that occur. If you're not careful, your mood can easily get even worse as the day goes along. But if, on the other hand, you set out with a positive frame of mind, it's much more likely that the positive occurrences will catch your attention and that you'll overlook or take in stride many of the negatives that occur. Second, it produces a steady approach. A negative attitude tends to create a pinball mentality. Every little setback can send you careening mentally, emotionally, and physically. We're much too excitable and reactive when we're in that sour frame of mind, and that never leads to anything good. A constructive attitude tends to be more stable and calming. It's much easier to approach, consider, and resolve a tough situation with the steady bearing that a constructive attitude gives. The third reason that a positive attitude is important is that it generates creative sparks. It's tough to come up with good solutions when you're in a negative frame of mind. You're so preoccupied with your problem and all of its nasty, sharp edges that it can be impossible to get your radar aimed at good possibilities. A constructive frame of mind looks for ideas and is very ready to accept useful input. It is much more capable of assessing the possibilities and making the decisions that good solutions require. And finally, positive attitudes are energizing. Negative attitudes are exhausting and frustrating. They make it very difficult to muster the will to solve a tough problem. A constructive attitude encourages both the effort and the determination that will lead to reasonable outcomes. I'd like for you to imagine two people who experience approximately the same type of a day. Their lives are like ours, a few ups and downs, a few victories and setbacks, a few delights and a few problems. But at the end of the day, one person feels energized and eager for tomorrow, while the other is frustrated and exhausted. Now, it's true that some people handle adversity better than others. Perhaps they're more resourceful or more persistent. But, in my opinion, most of the difference between the energized person and the one who is frustrated is the frame of mind with which each looked at the experience as it was happening. It was attitude that made all the difference. There aren't many successful people with negative attitudes. Some might say that it's the success that has created their positive outlook. I think it's exactly the opposite. Their positive outlook has helped create their success. So stick with a positive, constructive outlook. It's in your own best interest. If you feel your attitude slipping towards the negative, remind yourself that your attitude is the most powerful tool you have to keep generating positive outcomes. Focus your thinking on constructive actions and successful outcomes. And above all, remember this: the attitude you choose creates the reality you experience. That's right. The attitude you choose creates the reality you experience. Thanks for listening. I'm Steve Kinnal.